This vlog is going to be to Andy Lee. Now actually I hadn't planned on doing Andy Lee necessarily. We're definitely not this soon up at other people I was going to do. But this recent thing came up on Facebook that the X-Pod Lair are doing, and it just more validation that you are all being ridiculous. Let me see if I can perhaps point some things out to you, and maybe some of them will start to seep in and help you out. I'm not saying they will, but I feel compelled to just that much stupid. It's so deep, so profound, so juicy. I mean, it's like, oh, for a person who likes to, you know, slay stupid, I mean, this is a foe that I'm like, I'm going to have fun. All right, so this actually is a post from Gabe, but Andy Lee, Mr. Lee, he voices in on it. So Gabe says, one thing among some others that seems possibly true from my Q observation work is the existence of 4 basic physiological builds: hunter, pilot, gatherer, tower. Yeah, and there's a bunch of other stuff too in Social Alchemy. They also have unique things to them as well. Glad you can see something. All right. In some cases, these seem easily observable. Ooh, look at you go. Wow. All right. The 4 Greek humors seem to somewhat overlap with this concept. You think? All right. And perhaps these do correspond to certain psychological traits or inclinations. So you're giving under the hood too. Okay, so that's second degree of Pod Lair. There are some repeating things you can put into categories. You're saying, I'm seeing this one, right? You're seeing the priority way of breaking them down because there's certain looks that go with that. So and you made them a 4. Like there's 4. Why aren't there 5 of these? Why not 3? Okay, so you gave me finite number. You gave me they're there to be seen, you gave me finite number, and you gave me a second degree in that there's probably some relation to what is going on under the hood psychologically. Everything you've said before now, you can just slap yourself. Really, just slap yourself for being ridiculous. You're a ridiculous human. So then he edits, my own substitutions: navigator, driver, scout, mender. This goes back to what I was talking. Well, let me get to Andy Lee, since this is Andy Lee's thing. It's because he kind of does the close on this that I will address. Andy Lee chimes in and says, basically any 4 things work if you understand the concept. The important thing is that we're using our own words now. Is that the most important thing? Okay. Let me see if I've got this straight. I'm not trying to laugh at your paper, but I'm trying to understand if I get the little mental project you're doing here. Okay. You're saying that something that is seen as pseudoscience, the Greek 4 humors, but is very interesting in a philosophical sense, that there may be a direct correlation to that and the physiological cues. You've just validated my model. Okay, but then you put in your name, and this is where you come in, Mr. Lee, and you feel, really, go back to that filming I did about prioritization and valuation, about the being sleepy. Really, seriously, detach from yourself if you can and look at your story in the 3rd person. You're saying that there's a under the hood thing going on of which we can see it and it's mathematical, and you're saying at least in 4 here, you're giving all of that. And then it can be looked at. We can just see this. And you're not, whoa! Okay, if you didn't do that, do that. Because what does this mean is the most important thing, and how would you go about that? What's the most vital, most sure chance of victory way to go? Visual observation. You poor simple modern humans. I'm trying to be as nice as I can here, but so you think that that's what you should do? Something this profound that's been around for thousands of years, and only a few smart people in ancient Greece actually did that, and then it was so subtle that it passed all these other people for centuries, some of the smartest ever. Even Jung never said, I can see. He didn't break down the four like that. He never said, I can see it. And here's a list of them. Look at their bodies. Are you realizing the credit you're giving me? And then what that means. Yeah, you're actually saying, but not saying it. But literally, if you believe the words you just wrote here, that is a stunning, staggering discovery of implications that melt the mind. If you believe those words you just wrote, how do you not see this? You're basically saying there's a matrix and you can see it and you can pull on that thread. Let's talk about shit and mentally masturbate and really pick at what words go to that. You really think, as a base stance, you're approaching this correctly if you believe the words you wrote yourself. Those are your own words. Now, Andy Lee, you're saying that's the most important thing. Words. When this most incredible thing you're saying is likely there to some degree, if you're saying that there's four, and they have Greek humor some way, and you can visually see that with some kind of reliability, you're not going to give that credit for one of the greatest discoveries in the history of humans? What the fuck are you talking about? That sounds superhuman. That sounds made up. I've brought you this far forward, I guess, in some way that you can actually say that statement and not realize how that would freak out another human. Do you realize what you're saying? Holy shit! This is what I'm talking about. The fact that you don't realize that you basically are saying something that sounds like it's out of a sci-fi fucking novel. You're admitting that. And that I've seen it. That I pointed your noses there. And then, Andy Lee, the most important thing is that you use your own names now. No, the most important thing's one. That's a thing! That's a thing. It can be visually seen to some degree by some humans. This person is by the far the best because they, me, pointed out to you. 4, I taught you. Your learning process. That's the next most important thing. Naming the tracks we're going after that I showed you that you couldn't see on your own. And that you're saying in your own words. You're not, Andy Lee, you didn't really push back on this. So you're saying that, yeah, that's probably a thing, but now naming it, that's the most important thing. You expect me to take you seriously. You expect anyone who's a badass to take you seriously. When you act so silly. So, Mr. Lee, I don't care what you name. You can name what you want. Gabe can name one. You know why? I don't really give a shit. And no does anyone else who's serious. You actually heard this situation. You actually think people from the future who are smarter than us know more what's going on, or actually look at this and go, yeah, that was the really important thing to get on. The semantics. So, Mr. Lee, maybe you like the word navigator. Maybe you like the word hunter. Maybe you like your own words. Maybe you want tens and thousands of words. Who cares? Is that actually a thing? Did I point it out to you? Do you need me to show you more? Clearly. You all wigged out like I didn't have nothing. And now you're saying I have this? Pathetic. I'm so glad to be distancing myself from this. I can't get over this. I cannot get over it without venting. Yeah, I need to sound off. This is so stupid. I don't know how you don't see it. And this energy, my spirit's saying, let you see it. Because it's not a technical thing. This is like you're asleep. Wake up. Gabe, did you believe what you wrote? How are you not tripping the fuck out? Oh yeah, it's real hard. The world's not going to be responsive. I'll have a hard time getting good. Dampen. Otherwise, there's no reason to explain how you suddenly found yourself in a sci-fi novel that means humans are more beautiful and ordered than we thought them to be, and I showed this to you, and I want to show you more, and I've done everything I can, and it is what it is, and you want to name things. You want to hang out at home, and how are you not out studying people to see what they are? Who cares what names they are? How well can you... You are not right now just going... Making fun of me for YouTube videos? How are you saying these words and you're not scouring the internet? You're not running around your neighborhood all just... Whoa! How are you not having that? Unless you're lying. Unless you don't believe this. But I think you do because it's there. I showed it to you. You just dislike a lot of its implications, where you fall in it, and your relationship with me and how I behaved with you. That's your issue. This, Mr. Lee, this gets back to it. This because it's about Mr. Lee. I'm saying that how Gabe started, but Mr. Lee gets on you. I keep saying this thing in some other vlogs. Did you read that? And you didn't push back, so you read and go, yeah, I do think I'm seeing that. I think I'm seeing like some Ziny in the street or something. There's like a thing there. There's like tower build. There's like pilot build or whatever you want to call them. Adaptive, subjective builds. Add sub build. It doesn't matter. What matters is that's a... Did you just cruise by that? That's a science fiction novel, except it's not. You live in a comic book world now, thanks to me. Your life's a real life comic book adventure because I helped you. Now you're an NPC in that world. You should be a player character. It's pathetic. But are you telling me that MBTI actually broke it down like this and actually has lists of people you can go look at? I'll go, oh, extroverts, they talk a lot, and introverts, they don't. No, I did not do that stupid shit. I said those are subjectives. Look at their faces, look at their bodies, look at their behaviors, look at their lives. Make thoughts out of that. I pointed you at tracks. And you're on words. Do you not see this? You want me to respect you when you want to fight me because you want to take me down. You want to be somewhere near me. My greatness is freaking you the fuck out. So you want to make it like, I don't know if Coach got Hunter. I think navigator is a better word. How about you get better at this phenomenon that you currently suck at, and your current suckage is least within an awareness of your suckage because I gave it to you. Okay, I guess this is parent talk. Oh, Coach, I'm glad he's not, being so angry anymore. No, I'll be less angry because I'll be talking to you less. But anytime I actually talk about you and it's about stuff like this, oh, I'm going to let this flow. This feels wonderful. Because this is the response to this. Just first, like, disbelief. I can't believe you're actually saying what you're saying and acting the way you're acting. It's like disbelief. And then just, revulsion. Proper revulsion. So we're going to walk through life as a team, and then when we find out, and then all of us, including me, say, didn't know that there's 4 humors for real, and there's actually physiological cues and body types that go with it, and some people can see it, and those people or person actually are willing to teach others. Holy shit! Yes, sign me up to Jedi school. Well, it doesn't have all the kinks worked out yet. Oh, well, then never mind. What the fuck is wrong with you? What the fuck is wrong? I'm going to go John Macro on you. You cannot be serious! Anyway, moving on. These are some other comments that Andy Lee has done. He says, you wanted people to falsify your theory, now you're up to your neck in it. Am I? How am I up to the neck in it when you actually have done your harshest criticism and now you're talking about how I probably got the 4 priority social alchemy grouping and their physiological cues that go with it, i.e. their body types? Correct. Oh yeah, you're just blowing me out of the water. What? All right. I always presumed you wanted this sort of stuff. I do. Look at you. You actually are giving me great feedback because you really don't like me and you really want to take me down, except there's some shit you got to recognize. Because it is what it is. Right? Those body types. Yeah, it is what it is. Uh-oh. Yeah, uh-oh. Yeah, I do with this kind of stuff. This is great. Please, keep it coming. All right. More meaningful feedback you could not have asked for. I'm loving this. You're right. Thanks. I would spend some time with the demon's concerns, let them truly sink in. What? Yeah, you were actually starting to make sense there until you brought in what? What concerns? About I didn't treat him the way he wanted to be treated, about how he feels his skills didn't go forward like they should, how he feels that maybe those skills were actually made up, which, by the way, you just fucking disagreed with. You both just said, oh, there's probably some body types that go with the Greek four humors. Okay, so you're saying Ademus is wrong. How come that's not coming up? Yeah, these amazing things going on, and you are contradicting yourselves madly, but you're acting like you're on the same page. Groupthink, groupthink, groupthink. Pathetic. Get away from me, you fucking disgusting, mentally dead zombies. He says, I had a thought that you might not like, a vision of sorts. In it, you were torn apart and eaten by your followers, killed. And in each of them, your theory became something else, theirs. You mean them now trying to, do a big deal by verifying more of my work than they had before, but still as much less of my work. So they just gave me more stuff. Thanks. Yeah. You think this is going badly for me? You gave me more confidence in my work trying to bring me down than you have in years of being on my side, doing Facebook and talking about the movement. Yeah, that gave me very little confidence. You trying to take me down and now admitting this much about what I got? Woo! Thank you. This is quite helpful. He says, I see the death as a metaphorical, but I see the transfer of power as a benevolence for all parties. I'll go so far as saying I think this is going to be better for all of us. Yeah, I mean, I'm not trying to be a jerk here, but yeah, sure, I think this new way that I'll be moving forward and you'll be moving forward in my wake, barely, as best you pathetically can. But sure, yeah. But I think this is going to work out great. I think sometimes, keep people at a certain distance, that makes the relationship healthier. Coach is dead, and only Tom remains. I, according to you, have confirmed things that the Greek four humor people did, which was considered to be so high level, right? And it gets new agey. Like no one actually thought that was really a real thing. I confirmed that visually, and you're giving me credit for that. I'm not coaching you. You're talking about a thing as a given that you didn't even know was a thing. This sounds like science fiction that I showed you and you couldn't do on your own. And yet you're so confident that you can name it correctly and then you can figure out what the other categories are or aren't. No, I'm coaching you. Yeah, I'm still a coach. I'm clearly coaching you. You're just running around doing goofy shit on the field, but yeah, I'm still coaching you. A reduction of sorts, he says. But within it, you are given the chance to truly rediscover yourself. You know what? Every now and then, Mr. Lee, you have some gems. Yes, I am rediscovering myself. I'm actually upgrading myself too. Yeah, I'm naturally kind of a Sherlock Holmes, travel real light kind of guy. I like to be able to just say what I believe and follow the trails that make sense to me, and not really have to worry about wigging other people out or them, falling over or, grabbing onto me and bringing me down or twisting me around. Yeah, I really like to travel light. So I am rediscovering that solo or, small partnership kind of way of operating. That suits me. I am rediscovering that and I am falling in love with myself again. So thanks. He says, your theory without the unyielding adherence to your interpretation of it will have a chance to thrive on its own volition. It's the data, moron. Yeah, that's the thing that everyone has to get on board with. So my unyielding adherence is to the data. By the way, how can I be unyielding when I actually put the thing that is unyielding? What's that? What's that? That's the data. And where does that go? Come on, class. You can do this. That's right. First degree. First degree of practice. The other ones, you don't have to buy in at all. to get in on the fun. So you're saying it's unyielding. Again, this is the kind of stupid things you do. Think what you said. You're saying in a system that has 4 degrees, starting with the most believed to be data, evidence, visually observable, to the more speculative, more theoretical. You're saying that I'm demanding adherence to the theory, when in fact I'm actually saying that it's adherence to the data, and you don't have to touch the theory higher than that. You don't touch anything that you don't think you can see for yourself. Like you all thinking, I think there might be some of those 4 body types. Yes, there is. Okay, so I didn't, what interpretation is there? It is or it isn't, right? And I think you should probably listen to me a bit, as much as you don't like it, because that's a huge deal and I pointed it out to you. So I don't know how you could actually find, not only be pointing to a trail that you didn't know, that was the trail, it was going somewhere. You didn't know that was a thing. A tracker had to point out a thing about humans being humans that was right there to you. First of all, that it was even existing at all, and then I had to rub your noses in data over and over and over again, and now you're finally like, I think maybe there's 4 body types that go along with that Greek humor thing. Interesting. Goofy. You're goofy. So what I care about is truth going forward. No, it's not going to go on its own volition. It's going to go forward as far as what you have makes sense. So, you are now stumbling, trying to actually get, I think I can see that. Okay, that means it's a thing, and that means that most likely, since I showed you that, I see way more than you do. So, is it possible that what I think is under the hood is not what it is? Sure. What are the chances based on that is direct speculation on tracking data? Tracking empirical, I can see it data, that's what you're using to guess what's under the hood. Why would you trust yours over mine? I'm not asking you to. I literally am trying to give my power away. If you morons could actually read this on your own, I'd actually have to force feed you to realize that, yeah, there's priorities. There's also like 20 other plus social alchemies, and there's physiological things that go with those too. Keep going. Come on, you can do it. Maybe, I don't know, and I don't really care anymore. He says, a flower cannot grow within a clenched fist. So you think you're a flower? A flower that is given a seed to start with of such an amazing discovery of the human condition that it sounds to people that, unlike us, can see it to some degree, it sounds insane. So you're starting with that, and now you're flowering into words about it. Not getting better at saying it, not training other people, not figuring out apparatuses that can be used to train people better, how to get apparatuses that actually could take it out of the human hands so, volume and biases wouldn't be an issue. I want all that. I'm not trying to hold on to that power. Apparently, you're telling me to keep it because you're saying we're too stupid, and you dragged us up to realizing one of the alchemy under the hood relationships going with visual cues is a thing, and this is about as high as we can go, kind of getting height sickness, right? Can we just hang out here and kind of name what we see? That's a great fucking flower. Fuck you. He says, I sheepishly, vaguely, and ambivalently tried to warn y'all of something somewhat tangentially related to all or some of this, maybe. What are you talking about? Can you talk some kind of, story here? So you're telling me that you agree with Gabe that there is something to the 4 body types and something under the hood, which I pointed out to you and you couldn't see until I didn't. You're telling me that that's one of the stories. The other story is what? Maybe the theories I have based on top of that, which I don't ask you to get into at all unless you want to. Maybe off and crazy and weird and stupid and misleading and blah, 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 blah. He may also have been an asshole, because he's like the first fucking incredible genius that actually had a weird life. Yeah, that's okay. So you're telling me that we now live in a science fiction world that's actually reality. That's a real thing. There's actually a matrix and we can look at it. And weird speculations he has on seeing that, and his lifestyle and the way he's conducted himself with people is weird, and maybe he's a jerk, and maybe he's been too hard on people, and he's had flaws galore. And you think of those stories, the one the world need to be most made aware of is that I'm an asshole of some shape, form, variety, or that besides that discovery that is so amazing it sounds like it's science fiction, I may have some other crazy ideas that probably you shouldn't listen to. I don't know what to tell you. I things I can tell you, but it seems like you can't see. This is what I'm talking about. What my power is to scrutinize the obvious of the human condition better than you all can. And you're doubting my ability to scrutinize the obvious. Yet, you just presented the obvious situation. If you can get on a sleep, if you can wake the fuck up, you just presented that we're in a science fiction world that, by the way, has got, it looks like, possibly a cross ethnicity, cross-generational one love thing going on. If there's 4 of these things and they exist everywhere, okay, you realize if you're saying that, does that mean you think that the body types that I'm showing, there's something there? I mean, otherwise, how would you even know to say that? Okay, just with those 4 priorities, are you going to tell me that there is some correlation to those 4 body types you believe you can see and different careers? I believe what you're saying, it clearly implies that. Are you actually saying that those bills just show up randomly? Like there's not more pilot bills or, what do you want to call them, objective directives, however you want to describe it. There's not more of those bills in certain careers than others. There's not more tower builds, Mender bill, whatever you fucking call these things. There's not more of that in certain careers than others. You know there is. Okay, so you've actually given me credit for mojo journalism too. And to a limited degree also social alchemy, because they clump together. There is clumping of these 2 builds, 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 these 2 builds. There's clumping of those. Just with those 4 priorities which you gave me. I took stupid away from you, and this is how you repay me. You're gross. And you're gonna try to actually what? Give me a moral dressing down? And you actually think you have some ability to scrutinize the obvious on this subtle phenomenon, which you're admitting is there and you didn't know until I told you. And you actually can't actually see that you're now in the sci-fi story. That changes everything if you believe that at all. And you're wankering and whinging and just whining on. That is the obvious situation we are all in by the words that Gabe just said and Mr. Lee agreed to, and then they mutually mentally masturbated. You just watched 2 dudes mentally masturbating each other. How do you not see this? And you want me to take anything you say seriously about what's going on with this phenomenon and what it means? No. This is Fumasta ego, you fools. Get used to it. You'll be seeing more of it.